Ipen is used by insurance companies, insurance brokers, agencies, and bancassurance intermediaries to manage general insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, credit life, group life, pensions, reinsurance, investments, and finance. In this video, we are going to cover what Ipen has to offer under each module. Upon logging in, users will be greeted by either a landing page with all the employees, or one can have the page defaulted to a dashboard from the Reports module. We can default these dashboards on the basis of what the client needs to see at a glance. On the left-hand side of Africa Bima, we have all the system modules. The first module is for the ICT administration. It is called the System Administration module. This is where one sets up users and roles. ICT will use this module to set up the employees who will be accessing the system, establish employee roles, and designate these roles to specific employees. One can also set up employee groups for the purpose of internal communication management from department to department. This module also has got the system audit trail, which tracks changes in the system at different modules. For instance, let's say an existing receipt in the system has been edited. This submodule will be able to show where it has been edited from, which user changed it, and what were the initial values of the change that were initiated. The Mails Audit submodule tracks internal and external communication from emails sent from the system to employees and departments with instructions, and also from the system to external entities like insurance companies. An example would be the auto-generated renewal notices and renewal reminders, which are sent to clients, or instructions to insurance companies for placement of cover. So, this system will have the audit trail of all communication under the status of if those emails were successfully sent or not. The system for communication has got message templates which can be customized by ICT. For example, the format for renewal reminders, payment reminders, or even notification for claims to notify the insurer that a specific claim has been reported to you. All the messages which are either manually initiated by users in the system or scheduled to be sent based on specific events in the system will be captured here. Report mapping, report configurations, and company and organization details, where one sets up company headers and logos, will also be available in this module for ICT purposes. The second module is the CRM module, which basically maintains management information about the core dealers in the system, where in this case we are looking at the management of clients, insurers, and third-party intermediaries. Users can also generate statements in this module, for instance, client statements, insurer statements, and sub-agent statements for their commissions. The third module is the Global Configurations module. This module basically sets up the rules which are later applied in the system. These rules include the general settings which are applicable across all modules in the system and rarely change, where we have the countries, currencies, towns, departments, relationships, document types, and so on and so forth. The business settings affect the running of the business and the computations in the system. For instance, we've got items like insurable risks, which are insured items, rider types, basic field groups, insurance risk class categories, risk classes, cover types, product, and many more. Let us highlight the product category, for instance. All the settings shown here allow the user to set up how various products appear in the system and operate. The product setup is very vital in Africa Bima because it basically automates the rest of the underwriting module in terms of computation and so many other aspects. When we look at a product setup, we've got the basic product information displayed, insurable risks in that product, and at each insurable risk, we also have the aspect of how this particular product is computed. Users can also create various products for all insurance risk classes, whether it's motor, non-motor, medical, or life. Basically, when you are creating an insurance product, one specifies what are the insurable risks and how then is the premium computed on the basis of whether it is sum assured. One can then create additional benefits for the product, add required documentation for the product. One can also specify the cover options for the product, required claim documents, and fill in the cover text items like a summary of cover and limits of liability. In terms of business setting, most of the settings like policy cancellation reasons, proposal rejection reasons, text items, business sources, and so on and so forth are usually done by the business administrators to control how the business will be run by the normal users and assist in automating the rest of the processes in the business. Moving on to the marketing module. It's got a place for setting up business targets where users can establish sales targets and send them to the marketing team in order to track production against the set targets. We also have sales leads management submodules which allow you to be able to capture all the sales leads originating from different areas. It enables the marketing team or a marketing official to be able to capture leads as they come, from the time it opens to the time it closes, and whether it's been converted to business or it has failed. It also archives them for future reference. Up next, we've got the General Business module, which handles all aspects of general business, motor and non-motor. The first submodule under this module is where we generate new quotes, where users can be able to initiate, generate, and give a quote to a prospective client. If the client then selects the option they prefer from that quote, that particular quote is confirmed and gets converted into a new proposal. At the new proposals submodule, users can be able to put additional details required for placement of business. Once that information is input, that proposal can be forwarded. Users can compute the various premiums, and the computations are basically done on the basis of how that particular product was set up and the insured items. Once a proposal is computed, you can be able to specify additional benefits, look at the cover terms, and even attach the required documents. Once a proposal is captured, then it can be forwarded for approval, where it will go to the Approvals Process module. There we've got proposals pending approval from general business, which can then be debited and approved after payment is done, in order to become policies. Once a policy is in effect, it will go to Policies Management as a new policy. Under this submodule, one can perform various operations on active policies like canceling policies, generating insurance risk note, generating risk note to client, or contra. Once a policy is cancelled, it will generate a credit note or a contra credit note. One can also do endorsements on active policies. Under the module for new endorsements, users can specify whether that endorsement is a nil endorsement, or an increase or decrease in the value of that policy, then generating either a credit note or a debit note for the client to be able to have either a refund or provide additional premiums. All debit notes or credit notes generated are maintained in the General Business module for financial consumption. All policies due to expire based on the product setup go to the Renewals Management submodule under the Policies Due for Renewal tab. This is where the scheduling of the renewal notices and renewal reminders happen, and also where renewing a policy in order to create a renewal proposal for the information to be captured under the same process for proposal takes effect. Users can also view expired policies and renew them, or create a new proposal but with the same information from an expired policy. In the Life Business module, the life cycle of the proposal management is the same at each point as the General Business module. The only difference is the module for Life Business is specific for handling life business. Under Life Business, we've got submodules for Ordinary Life Business and Credit Life Business, which are handled separately because they are long-term in nature and don't have aspects of renewal. The same applies to the module for Medical Business, which is specific to handling new medical business because of the nature of the products and information required. For instance, for Life Business, when you're handling group life, one will be required to bring in the members, which is not the case for motor. For Medical Business, you can be required to bring in medical members, which may not be a requirement in life or general business. The Installment Tracker handles the tracking of the policies which have been paid for in installments by the client. Here we've got the new installments which are generated at the point of approval. Let's say I'll pay my hypothetical policy in 4 installments. This tab will generate the installments for me and track the dates due, divided on the basis of that policy. If the term states 1 year, I should be able to pay after every 3 months. This takes us back to the Message Template submodule, which will act as a convenient tool when it comes to reminding me to pay my installments every 3 months. The Medical Business module usually handles individual medical insurance and group medical insurance. We've touched on how the life cycle of this module is similar to what we covered in the General Business module. Any changes or endorsements done on a medical policy, for example, if a scheme added an insured person or the addition of a dependent, will also be done under the Endorsement module which we covered earlier. We can then be able to have computations and a debit note will be raised, all to the point of renewal. Let's now handle the Claims Management module. This module handles the claims for all three categories of insurance, whether general, life, or medical. We can be able to notify new claims, where they are forwarded in individual workspaces, then progress can be added, information from the insurer can be updated in the claim, and reporting can be done back to the client. The correspondence for all the claims which have been reported happens in the individual claims workspaces, and then once claims are closed, they go to the Closed Claims submodule. Some claims can be rejected because of maybe insufficient information or maybe the risk is inadmissible due to the investigations done. These go to the overall Rejected Claims submodule. Closed claims can also be reopened. Let's say we've got a scenario where someone had an accident, and that accident involved third parties. Third-party claims can occur related to the same accident, leading to the claims being reinitiated in order to be processed and settled. We've already looked at the Approvals Process module, which deals with all the approvals in underwriting. On to the Finance and Accounting module. If there are any payments, they are covered in this module. Just like underwriting, finance has its own rules set up. Here we have general settings, where one can specify account category, business divisions, account types, aging bands, and so on and so forth in an effort to determine how your finance will look and how your reporting will be. We've got business settings where we set up the chart of accounts, JV types, and payment purposes, which focuses on reasons that can make one receive money. For example, if you're receipting, you can be able to do commission receipting. Maybe there was a direct payment and you are receiving a commission from an insurance company. The setting for underwriting account types exists to specify for each particular underwriting transaction what account is affected. The dealer types account settings address which account is debited when maybe it's a client, which accounts you credit with agent commissions, which account you credit with insurer premium payable, and maybe if it is an incentive to staff you are paying, which account will be used for that purpose. All these settings basically allow you to do the operational settings for finance, just like we did the business settings for underwriting. The sub-module for GL management allows you to set up accounting periods and sub-periods. Allows you to manage forex rates in case you're dealing with multicurrency. Allows you to do document allocations. And the general ledger, which maintains all the transactions in the system. It's from the general ledger where we get all our financial reports. Up next is the account receivables sub-module, which handles any receipts from clients, any receipts from insurance companies, and also payment of commissions. The new Direct Payments tab is where we record the payments made directly from clients to insurance companies. Under Accounts Receivables, we also have bulk receipting, whereby there are receipts associated by maybe schemes where one receives a lot of receipts. All those receipts can be put under the bulk receipting module and posted at once. The Accounts Payable module handles payment vouchers, received invoices, and third-party payments, but mainly handle remittance of premium to insurance companies. So, under the payables, you can be able to do a new payment voucher, allocate the payment voucher to what you are paying with an invoice or the various debit notes, and once you allocate to the various debit notes, you will be able to look at things like the payment schedules and what is being paid based on the allocation. The payables will have to capture the new payment vouchers and approval process, then request for approval, then have it approved, and after the payment has been made, it will go to the Paid Payment Vouchers tab. The following submodule is the Journal Vouchers, which will basically allow you to post audit transactions and also post financial balances at the point at which we are installing the system as we begin booking transactions. The final submodule under the Finance and Accounting module is Commissions Processing, which will account for direct payment, for instance, a situation where one does not collect on behalf of the insurer or life business when one is dealing with individual life policies, where clients pay directly to the insurer. The insurance company will then send you a schedule of the commissions which are due on a monthly basis based on the client's settlement. Then you can be able to import them and process them to allocate against what you were expecting to receive from the insurance company. It is a way of back-receipting commissions. The Standard Reports module, which basically has got production reports with production detailed reports, production per product, production per branch if you've got branches, insurance-based production summary, branch-based production summaries, reports on partial payments, and then the report on premium remittance, which basically shows what you are supposed to remit to the insurance company and what is outstanding. Under the Financial Reports submodule, we've got Trial Balance, which is annual, monthly trial balance, P&A, balance sheet, commission statement, and ledger transactions per account. We then have some management reports, which are the receivable detailed aging, claims report, then insurance premium financing reports and underwriting reports, which handle the consolidated withholding tax report, withholding tax per insurer, consolidated commission, commission statement per insurer, debtors aging report, and creditors adding a report. Last but not least, the system also has a module which allows users to extend their report. If your ICT team is well equipped and trained, they will be able to create new reports from the existing data sets and also create new dashboards from the same. This module basically allows administrators to be able to an extension on the platform in terms of reporting and analytics provided in the system. To customize the look of the system to something that suits your aesthetic tastes, you can click on the theme icon and adjust it to something you like. That marks the end of our overview of the cloud insurance management solution Ipen. In case of any inquiries or requests, feel free to contact us using the information below.